Rich Momentum, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. In the physical world, momentum is a powerful force that keeps objects in motion. Once something gains sufficient speed and direction, it becomes increasingly difficult to stop. This same principle applies remarkably well to building wealth, though many fail to recognize or harness its potential. Wealth momentum represents the accumulated force of your financial decisions, habits, and actions working together to propel you toward greater prosperity. Think of a flywheel, a heavy wheel that requires significant initial effort to start turning. Those first pushes are hard, often feeling like they're producing little result. But with each subsequent push, the wheel moves a bit faster, stores more energy, and becomes easier to keep in motion. Your wealth-building journey follows this same pattern, with the early stages demanding the most effort for seemingly minimal returns, which is precisely why many people give up before momentum takes hold. The physics of financial momentum operates on three core components: direction, your clear financial goals and strategy; force, the specific actions you take, from saving and investing to building multiple income streams; and consistency, the most crucial element that transforms individual actions into unstoppable momentum. When these three components align, they create a self-reinforcing cycle that makes wealth accumulation increasingly effortless. This wealth momentum differs fundamentally from get-rich-quick schemes, which promise instant results but ultimately fail to create lasting financial success. While sudden windfalls might provide a temporary boost, they rarely translate into sustained wealth without the underlying momentum to maintain and grow them. True wealth momentum builds gradually but becomes virtually unstoppable once established. It's why successful people often say that making their first million was the hardest, with each subsequent million becoming progressively easier as their momentum increased. This book reveals how to build, maintain, and ride that wave of wealth momentum to your rich life. Lesson 1. What momentum means in wealth building. In the physical world, momentum is a powerful force that keeps objects in motion. Once something gains sufficient speed and direction, it becomes increasingly difficult to stop. This same principle applies remarkably well to building wealth, though many fail to recognize or harness its potential. Wealth momentum represents the accumulated force of your financial decisions, habits, and actions working together to propel you toward greater prosperity. Think of a flywheel, a heavy wheel that requires significant initial effort to start turning. Those first pushes are hard, often feeling like they're producing little result. But with each subsequent push, the wheel moves a bit faster, stores more energy, and becomes easier to keep in motion. Your wealth-building journey follows this same pattern. The early stages demand the most effort for seemingly minimal returns, which is precisely why many people give up before momentum takes hold. The physics of financial momentum operates on three core components: direction, force, and consistency. Direction represents your clear financial goals and strategy, knowing exactly where you want your wealth to grow. Force comes from the specific actions you take, from saving and investing to building multiple income streams. Consistency is perhaps the most crucial element, as it transforms individual actions into unstoppable momentum. When these three components align, they create a self-reinforcing cycle that makes wealth accumulation increasingly effortless. This wealth momentum differs fundamentally from get-rich-quick schemes, which promise instant results but ultimately fail to create lasting financial success. While sudden windfalls might provide a temporary boost, they rarely translate into sustained wealth without the underlying momentum to maintain and grow them. True wealth momentum builds gradually but becomes virtually unstoppable once established. It's why you'll often hear successful people say that making their first million was the hardest. Each subsequent million became progressively easier as their momentum increased. Understanding your current wealth momentum requires honest assessment. Are your financial habits creating forward motion, or are you stuck in a pattern of starts and stops? Many people mistake activity for momentum, but busy financial movement doesn't necessarily translate to progress. Real momentum manifests in measurable advancement toward your wealth goals, with each achievement creating energy for the next phase of growth. The beauty of wealth momentum lies in its compounding nature. As your financial mass increases through saving and investing, it naturally attracts more opportunities. Your growing knowledge and experience add to this effect, making you better equipped to identify and capitalize on wealth-building chances. Your network expands, bringing new possibilities, and your confidence grows, enabling you to make bolder moves with greater certainty. Fear and doubt often create invisible barriers to wealth momentum. Many people subconsciously resist building momentum because they worry about losing control or making mistakes. However, true wealth momentum actually provides greater stability and control over your financial future. Like a massive ship cutting through rough waters, strong financial momentum helps you weather market volatility and economic uncertainties with greater resilience. To begin building wealth momentum, focus first on eliminating forces that create resistance. These might include high-interest debt, negative financial relationships, or self-limiting beliefs about money. Each source of resistance you remove makes it easier for positive financial habits to gain traction. Then, identify the key activities that will create initial momentum in your unique situation. For some, this might mean increasing their savings rate. For others, it could involve starting a side business or learning about investing. The most successful wealth builders understand that momentum isn't just about money, it's about creating a comprehensive system that generates and maintains forward motion in all areas of financial life. This includes developing your skills, building valuable relationships, creating multiple income streams, and cultivating a wealth-oriented mindset. When all these elements work together, they create an unstoppable force that continues to build and strengthen over time. Lesson 2. Starting small, thinking big. The greatest obstacle to building wealth momentum isn't lack of resources. It's the mistaken belief that you need significant resources to begin. This paradox stops many people before they even start, yet history's most remarkable wealth stories often begin with the humblest origins. The secret lies in understanding that momentum doesn't require a massive initial push, but rather consistent forward motion, no matter how small. Consider the story of John, a janitor who began investing just $5.00 per day from his modest salary. While his co-workers dismissed this amount as insignificant, John understood that these small contributions would compound over time. 30 years later, his portfolio exceeded $1,200,000. The key wasn't the amount he started with, but his unwavering vision of where those small steps would lead. Your wealth vision serves as the gravitational force that pulls your small actions toward bigger outcomes. This vision isn't just about numbers in a bank account. It's about the life you want to create, the impact you wish to make, and the legacy you hope to leave. When you align your daily micro-maximums with this broader vision, even the smallest steps take on profound significance. The concept of minimum viable actions, MVAs, becomes crucial here. These are the smallest possible steps that still move you forward. Instead of waiting to invest thousands, start with $10.00. Rather than launching a full-scale business, begin with one client. These MVAs might seem insignificant, but they serve a vital purpose. They break the inertia of inaction and establish the basic patterns of wealth-building behavior. Your brain responds powerfully to these small victories. Each time you complete an MVA, you're not just making a financial move, you're building neural pathways that make wealth-building behaviors more natural and automatic. This psychological momentum often proves more valuable than the immediate financial gains, as it transforms your identity into someone who consistently takes wealth-building action. Micro-investments extend beyond just money. They include investing small amounts of time in learning about finance, making brief but meaningful business connections, or spending 10 minutes daily researching investment opportunities. These small investments of time, energy, and resources create what I call the momentum matrix, a web of small actions that collectively generate significant forward motion. The beauty of starting small while thinking big lies in the space between your current actions and your ultimate vision. This gap creates a creative tension that pulls you forward. When you deposit your first $100.00 into an investment account while holding a vision of your first million, you create an energetic momentum that's far more powerful than if you were thinking only about the immediate future. Consider how nature itself demonstrates this principle. The mightiest oak begins as a tiny acorn containing all the essential DNA for its future growth. Your small wealth-building actions contain similar DNA, the basic patterns and principles that will eventually create substantial wealth. The key is ensuring these small actions align with sound financial principles and your larger vision. This approach also helps manage risk effectively. Starting small allows you to learn and adjust without devastating consequences. You can test strategies, learn from mistakes, and refine your approach, while gradually increasing your commitment. This creates a robust foundation for larger future moves while building the confidence that comes from actual experience. Your task now is to identify your wealth vision and break it down into the smallest possible starting actions. Don't dismiss any action as too small. Momentum builds on itself. What matters is not the size of your first step, but that you take it with the right direction and intention. The universe of wealth creation favors those who start where they are, with what they have, while keeping their eyes fixed on the horizons of possibility. Lesson 3. The compound power of daily decisions. Every day we make hundreds of financial decisions, both big and small, from choosing between a home-brewed coffee or a cafe purchase to deciding whether to invest in additional education or start a side business. What many don't realize is that these decisions carry a hidden weight. They're not just isolated choices, but building blocks of our wealth momentum. Decision fatigue is a silent wealth killer. By the end of each day, our mental energy depletes, and our financial choices often become less optimal. This is why successful wealth builders create robust decision frameworks early on. They understand that willpower alone isn't enough. They need systems that make wealth-building decisions automatic and effortless. Consider the practice of successful entrepreneurs who wear the same style of clothing daily or eat similar meals. They're not being boring. They're conserving their decision-making energy for what truly matters. This same principle applies to wealth building. By establishing clear protocols for spending, saving, and investing, you free up mental bandwidth for strategic financial opportunities that require careful consideration. The concept of getting 1% better each day transforms how we approach financial decisions. Instead of seeking dramatic changes, focus on small improvements in your decision-making process. Perhaps today you spend 10 minutes reviewing your expenses, tomorrow you research one investment option, and the next day you make one networking call. These micro-improvements compound dramatically over time, creating a powerful momentum that becomes increasingly difficult to stop. But the compound effect extends beyond mere money. Every wealth-building decision you make strengthens your network of relationships, enhances your skills, and opens new opportunities. When you choose to attend a financial workshop instead of watching television, you're not just gaining knowledge. You're potentially meeting future business partners, discovering investment opportunities, and developing valuable connections. Your daily decisions create ripples that extend far into your future. Consider how a single decision to start learning about stock investing might lead to joining an investment club, which introduces you to a mentor who later becomes a business partner in a venture that multiplies your wealth exponentially. This interconnected web of outcomes stems from that initial decision to educate yourself. Decision frameworks serve as your wealth-building autopilot. Create simple if-then protocols. If you receive unexpected money, then automatically allocate specific percentages to savings, investments, and spending. If a major purchase tempts you, then wait 72 hours before deciding. If your income increases, then maintain your current lifestyle while investing the difference. These frameworks remove emotion from financial decisions and maintain your momentum regardless of external circumstances. The power of automated decisions becomes particularly evident during market volatility or personal challenges. When you've predetermined your responses to various financial scenarios, you're less likely to make emotional decisions that could derail your wealth momentum. Your framework becomes a steady hand guiding your wealth journey through both calm and stormy waters. Each decision, no matter how small, either reinforces or weakens your wealth-building habits. The coffee you choose, the route you take to work, the way you spend your lunch break, these seemingly minor choices compound into your financial reality. By bringing consciousness to these decisions and creating supportive frameworks, you transform routine choices into powerful momentum builders. Your wealth journey is ultimately the sum of your daily decisions. By understanding and harnessing the compound power of these choices, you create an unstoppable force that propels you toward your financial goals. The key lies not in making perfect decisions every time, but in establishing systems that make wealth-building choices your natural default. Lesson 4. Overcoming the dip. Every wealth journey encounters periods where momentum seems to grind to a halt. These dips are not just common, they're an essential part of the wealth-building process. Like a rocket ship breaking through Earth's atmosphere, the greatest resistance often comes right before breakthrough moments. Understanding and preparing for these challenging phases can transform them from momentum killers into catalysts for exponential growth. The dip typically manifests in several ways. a plateau in investment returns, unexpected expenses that drain savings, or a period where income refuses to grow despite increased effort. During these times, our natural instinct is to question our strategy or abandon ship altogether. This psychological pressure creates a filtering mechanism that separates those who will achieve lasting wealth from those who will remain stuck in financial mediocrity. The key lies not in avoiding these dips, but in recognizing them as opportunities for strengthening our wealth-building foundation. When facing resistance points, successful wealth builders double down on their fundamentals. They review their spending patterns, reassess their investment strategies, and often find inefficiencies that weren't visible during periods of growth. This process of optimization during difficult times creates a more robust financial system that can withstand future challenges. Think of it as stress testing your wealth-building machine. The dip reveals weak points that need reinforcement. The transformation of obstacles into acceleration opportunities requires a shift in perspective. Each financial setback carries within it the seeds of greater returns. A market downturn becomes a chance to acquire assets at discount prices. A business failure provides invaluable lessons that inform future ventures. Job loss can spark entrepreneurial endeavors that lead to unlimited income potential. The key is maintaining emotional equilibrium while seeking the hidden advantages within each challenge. Recovery protocols are essential tools for maintaining momentum through difficult periods. Start by conducting a thorough analysis of what led to the loss of momentum. Was it external market conditions, internal decision-making patterns, or a combination of both? Document these findings in detail. They become valuable reference points for navigating future dips. Then create a step-by-step plan for rebuilding momentum, focusing on controllable actions rather than desired outcomes. Momentum rebounds often require a period of concentrated effort. During this phase, it's crucial to increase your financial education, strengthen your network of wealth-minded people, and potentially explore new revenue streams. Think of it as building a broader base from which to launch your next growth phase. The wider this foundation, the more stable your future momentum will become. The dip also presents an opportunity to refine your wealth psychology. Many find that their greatest breakthroughs in wealth thinking occur during these challenging periods. Use this time to examine your beliefs about money, success, and your own capabilities. Often, the mental barriers identified during the dip become the very limitations that, once overcome, lead to extraordinary financial growth. Most importantly, remember that the dip is temporary. Like a spring being compressed, the pressure you feel during these periods is building potential energy for your next leap forward. By maintaining consistent action, even when results aren't immediately visible, you're setting yourself up for powerful momentum when conditions improve. The key is to stay engaged with your wealth-building practices while simultaneously preparing for the opportunities that inevitably emerge from challenging times. Your response to the dip ultimately determines your long-term financial trajectory. Those who learn to navigate these periods with strategic patience and persistent action develop an unshakable wealth momentum that compounds over time. They understand that temporary slowdowns are not signs of failure, but necessary phases in the evolution of their financial success story. Lesson 5. Tracking progress to stay empowered. The journey to wealth becomes exponentially more powerful when you can see and measure your progress. Just as a pilot relies on instruments to navigate through clouds and darkness, your wealth-building journey needs clear metrics to guide your path and maintain momentum. This isn't about obsessing over numbers, it's about creating meaningful feedback loops that energize and empower your wealth-building efforts. Your relationship with tracking can transform from a mundane task into a source of motivation and clarity. Think of your wealth metrics as breadcrumbs marking your path through the forest of financial growth. Each marker gives you confidence that you're moving in the right direction and provides data to adjust your course when needed. The key is selecting metrics that actually matter to your journey, not just numbers that society or financial institutions deem important. A personal wealth dashboard serves as your command center for maintaining momentum. This goes beyond checking account balances. It encompasses tracking your net worth, investment returns, savings rates, and even non-financial metrics like your learning progress or networking activities. The most effective dashboards combine both lagging indicators, what has already happened, and leading indicators, predictive measures of future success. For instance, while your current savings rate is a lagging indicator, the number of new skills you're developing or business relationships you're nurturing are leading indicators of future wealth potential. The frequency of reviewing your progress matters significantly. Daily tracking of certain metrics can become overwhelming and counterproductive, while annual reviews might be too infrequent to maintain momentum. Find your sweet spot, perhaps weekly check-ins for core metrics and monthly deep dives into your overall wealth trajectory. This rhythm should feel energizing rather than burdensome, providing enough information to stay motivated without becoming a source of stress or obsession. Side plays a crucial role in maintaining wealth momentum. When you hit milestones, whether it's reaching your first $10,000, 0 cents investments, paying off a debt, or launching a side business, take time to acknowledge and celebrate these achievements. These moments of recognition wire your brain to associate pleasure with wealth-building activities, making it easier to maintain positive financial habits. However, celebrations should be meaningful rather than derailing. Choose rewards that align with your wealth-building goals rather than undermining them. The true power of tracking comes from using data to make informed adjustments to your wealth strategy. Your metrics will reveal patterns, both positive and negative, that might not be visible in day-to-day activities. Perhaps you'll notice that your savings rate drops significantly during certain seasons, or that particular investment strategies consistently outperform others. These insights allow you to fine-tune your approach, amplifying what works and modifying what doesn't. Technology can be a powerful ally in tracking your progress, but don't let the tools overshadow the purpose. While apps and spreadsheets can automate much of the tracking process, the most important aspect is your engagement with the data. Take time to reflect on what the numbers are telling you about your wealth journey. Are you moving at the pace you want? Are there areas where momentum is building or falling? Let these insights guide your next steps and strategic decisions. Tracking isn't just about the numbers, it's about the story those numbers tell about your wealth journey. Your metrics should reflect your personal definition of wealth and success. For some, this might mean tracking the growth of passive income streams. For others, it might include measuring the impact of their wealth on their community or the development of their business empire. The key is ensuring your tracking system aligns with your unique vision of rich momentum. Lesson 6. Fueling up with abundance practices. The greatest barrier to building wealth momentum isn't external circumstances. It's the persistent grip of scarcity thinking. When we operate from a mindset of lack, we create self-fulfilling prophecies that sabotage our financial growth. The good news is that abundance thinking can be cultivated through intentional daily practices that reshape our relationship with money and opportunity. Think of abundance practices as high-octane fuel for your wealth momentum. Just as premium gasoline helps an engine perform at its peak, abundance practices energize your wealth-building efforts and keep you moving forward with greater power. These practices begin with conscious awareness of your thoughts about money. Notice when scarcity-based phrases like, "I can't afford it," or "money is hard to come by," cross your mind. Replace them immediately with empowering alternatives. "I'm choosing to invest elsewhere," or "money flows easily when I provide value." Your wealth identity, how you see yourself in relation to money, shapes every financial decision you make. Developing strong abundance practices means deliberately crafting this identity through daily rituals. Start each morning by visualizing yourself as a skilled wealth builder. Write in a prosperity journal about the opportunities you're creating and the value you're offering to the world. Express genuine gratitude for your current financial situation, no matter where you stand. These simple acts wire your brain for abundance and prime you to spot opportunities others miss. The people and information you surround yourself with dramatically impact your wealth momentum. Curate your environment to include abundance-minded people who inspire and challenge you to think bigger. Join masterminds or investment clubs where wealth building is the norm. Fill your media diet with content that expands your financial knowledge and reinforces abundant thinking. Unfollow or mute voices that perpetuate scarcity narratives or make you feel anxious about money. Language patterns serve as the architecture of our thoughts, and thoughts drive actions. Pay attention to how you speak about money, both in internal dialogue and conversations with others. Instead of saying, "I hope I can afford that someday," shift to, "I'm working on my plan to acquire that." Rather than complaining about prices, appreciate the value exchange. When discussing finances with family or colleagues, use language that assumes growth and possibility rather than limitation and constraint. Gratitude sits at the heart of abundance practices. It's impossible to feel truly grateful and scarce at the same time. Each day, acknowledge specific ways money is working in your life. from the coffee you enjoyed this morning to the investment accounts quietly growing in the background. Express appreciation to those who've taught you about finance or created opportunities for you to increase your wealth. Gratitude magnetizes more financial opportunities into your life and keeps your wealth momentum flowing smoothly. Active abundance practices also include how you handle money physically and digitally. Organize your finances impeccably. Keep your wallet neat and treat all money with respect regardless of denomination. Pay bills with appreciation for the services received. When checking accounts or making transactions, maintain an attitude of confidence and ease. These seemingly small behaviors send powerful signals to your subconscious about your relationship with wealth. Abundance practices aren't about denying financial realities or challenges. Instead, they provide a framework for approaching those challenges from a position of possibility rather than limitation. When faced with financial decisions or setbacks, abundance practices help you maintain perspective and creativity. They keep your wealth momentum moving forward by ensuring that temporary obstacles don't become permanent mental barriers. Create a daily abundance routine that works for your schedule and personality. Perhaps it's morning affirmations, a midday gratitude walk, or an evening review of the day's financial blessings. The specific practices matter less than the consistency of their application. As you incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll find your wealth momentum naturally accelerating, powered by the high-octane fuel of abundant thinking. Lesson 7. When to rest without losing speed. The pursuit of wealth can feel like an endless marathon, but the most successful wealth builders understand that strategic rest is not just beneficial, it's essential for long-term momentum. Just as elite athletes incorporate recovery periods into their training, smart investors and entrepreneurs must master the art of productive pausing without sacrificing their forward motion. The key lies in understanding the difference between intentional rest and momentum-killing procrastination. When you take purposeful breaks in your wealth-building journey, you're not stopping. You're strategically recharging. This might mean stepping back from active trading during market volatility, reducing your side hustle hours during important family events, or taking a month to reflect on your investment strategy before making major portfolio changes. The human brain and body operate in natural cycles of exertion and recovery. Fighting against these cycles typically leads to burnout, poor decision-making, and ultimately wealth-destroying mistakes. Consider how many financial missteps occur when we're exhausted, stressed, or operating on mental fumes. By contrast, some of the most profitable insights and opportunities emerge after periods of deliberate rest, when our minds are fresh and our perspective is clear. Life transitions present particular challenges to maintaining wealth momentum. Career changes, relocations, marriages, or the birth of children can temporarily disrupt our wealth-building routines. The secret is to establish what I call baseline momentum, the minimum actions that keep your wealth growing even during major life shifts. This might be as simple as maintaining your automatic investment contributions or spending 15 minutes weekly reviewing your financial positions. The rebound effect is a fascinating phenomenon that occurs after well-planned rest periods. Like a spring that's been compressed, your wealth-building energy often returns with greater force after strategic pauses. Many investors report making their best decisions and spotting their most profitable opportunities after stepping back to recharge. This isn't coincidence, it's the natural result of allowing your financial intelligence to integrate and mature during periods of rest. Creating a sustainable wealth-building rhythm requires honest self-assessment. Learn to recognize your personal signs of financial fatigue. Are you making impulsive investment decisions, having trouble focusing on market research, feeling resentful of your wealth-building activities? These are signals that it's time for a strategic pause. The duration might be as short as a weekend digital detox or as long as a month-long portfolio review hiatus. Rest becomes particularly powerful when paired with reflection. Use these periods to examine your wealth-building patterns, reassess your financial goals, and identify areas where you've been expending energy without proportional returns. This kind of thoughtful analysis often reveals opportunities to streamline your wealth-building systems, making them more efficient and sustainable for the long term. The most successful wealth builders develop a sophisticated relationship with rest, viewing it not as an interruption to their momentum, but as an integral part of their wealth-building strategy. They understand that the goal isn't to eliminate pauses, but to make them productive. This might mean using downtime to read financial literature, attend wealth-building seminars, or cultivate relationships with potential mentors and partners. Strategic rest also allows you to maintain the other crucial areas of your life that ultimately support your wealth-building journey. Your health, relationships, and personal growth all require attention and energy. By taking deliberate breaks, you ensure these foundations remain strong, providing the stable platform you need for sustained financial success. True wealth momentum isn't about constant motion, it's about moving forward with intention, wisdom, and sustainable energy. Lesson 8. Staying in motion with faith. Faith in your wealth journey isn't blind optimism, it's a cultivated certainty born from understanding deeper principles at work. When you grasp how wealth truly builds through consistent action aligned with universal laws, your conviction becomes unshakable. This unwavering belief serves as an internal compass, keeping you oriented toward prosperity even when external circumstances seem challenging. The distinction between faith and naive hope lies in your foundation of knowledge and experience. Faith in wealth building comes from witnessing small actions compound over time, from seeing how opportunities multiply when you maintain positive momentum. It's strengthened each time you overcome a setback and emerge stronger. This type of faith isn't passive, waiting, it's active trust, combined with deliberate movement toward your financial vision. Developing your personal wealth philosophy provides crucial support for maintaining faith during uncertain times. This philosophy isn't just about money, it's your deeply held beliefs about prosperity, value creation, and your role in the economic ecosystem. When you understand that wealth is created through service, that abundance expands through exchange, and that your growth contributes to others, your wealth-building journey takes on greater meaning and resilience. Spiritual practices can powerfully reinforce your wealth momentum, regardless of your specific beliefs. Regular meditation helps you stay centered when markets fluctuate. Mindful gratitude for current resources activates the awareness to recognize new opportunities. Visualization of your desired outcomes, combined with appreciation for the process, keeps you aligned with possibility rather than scarcity. These practices aren't about magical thinking, they're about maintaining the optimal mental state for recognizing and acting on potential. Navigating uncertainty requires a special kind of faith, one that acknowledges reality while maintaining vision. Rather than denying challenges, faith helps you see them as temporary conditions that contain seeds of opportunity. This perspective keeps you in motion rather than paralyzed by fear or doubt. You learn to take appropriate action while staying open to unexpected paths toward your goals. Your wealth faith grows stronger through intentional reinforcement. Reading success stories, studying wealth principles, and connecting with others on similar journeys all serve to strengthen your conviction. Documenting your own wins, reflecting on obstacles overcome, and tracking your progress provides personal evidence that builds unshakable confidence. This isn't about inflating yourself with false positivity. It's about grounding yourself in the truth of what's possible through persistent action. The interplay between faith and action creates a powerful feedback loop. Faith inspires action, action produces results, results strengthen faith, and stronger faith enables bolder action. This virtuous cycle accelerates your wealth momentum. Even small wins matter here. Each positive outcome reinforces your belief in the process and your ability to create desired results. Your wealth journey will naturally include periods of doubt or uncertainty. Having a strong foundation of faith doesn't mean never questioning. It means maintaining forward motion even while processing concerns. Like a ship maintaining course through rough waters, your faith serves as a stabilizing force. It helps you distinguish between helpful course corrections and reactive changes that could derail your momentum. Faith in your wealth journey ultimately becomes faith in yourself as a creator of value and steward of resources. This deep self-trust, combined with understanding of prosperity principles, generates unstoppable momentum. You move forward not from desperate hoping, but from grounded knowing that your consistent, aligned action inevitably produces positive results. This is the kind of faith that transforms your relationship with wealth from one of striving and struggle to one of natural, expanding abundance. Lesson 9. Making wealth your default direction. The path of least resistance often determines our financial destiny. Just as water naturally flows downhill, our wealth tends to flow in the direction of our most effortless choices. This profound truth reveals why restructuring our environment is crucial for sustainable wealth building. It makes financial growth our natural state, rather than something we constantly fight to achieve. Consider how your current environment either supports or sabotages your wealth momentum. Your phone notifications, the layout of your workspace, the apps on your home screen, and even the route you drive to work all create subtle nudges that influence your financial decisions. Smart wealth builders recognize these environmental cues and deliberately engineer them to make wealth building automatic rather than requiring constant willpower. The first step in making wealth your default direction is digital environment optimization. Replace mindless shopping apps with investment apps on your phone's main screen. Set up automatic investment transfers to trigger the day after your paycheck arrives. Configure your banking apps to display your investment growth rather than your spending account balance. These small adjustments create a digital ecosystem where building wealth becomes the path of least resistance. Your physical environment plays an equally important role. Transform your workspace into a wealth-building command center. Position visual reminders of your financial goals where you'll see them during decision moments. Keep a small notebook for capturing money-making ideas within arm's reach. Clear clutter that triggers stress spending. The goal is to make your space naturally guide you toward wealth-positive choices rather than consumption. Social environment engineering is another powerful lever for creating wealth momentum. Consciously curate your social media feeds to showcase financial education rather than lifestyle comparison. Join masterminds or accountability groups where wealth building is the norm. Schedule regular money dates with yourself or your partner to review progress and adjust course. When wealth-focused activities and conversations become routine parts of your social world, financial growth accelerates naturally. The information environment you inhabit shapes your financial reality in subtle but powerful ways. Subscribe to newsletters and podcasts that reinforce wealth-building principles. Create bookmarks folders filled with educational resources about investing and business growth. Set up Google alerts for investment opportunities in your areas of interest. Make financial learning your default entertainment choice during downtime. Behavior design principles can further cement wealth as your default direction. Place friction in the path of wealth-draining activities while removing friction from wealth-building ones. Make impulse purchases require extra steps while enabling one-click investing. Put your credit cards on ice, literally if needed, while setting up automated savings. The easier you make it to build wealth and the harder you make it to deplete it, the more natural wealth accumulation becomes. Time environment structuring creates powerful wealth momentum. Block out specific times for financial review and wealth-building activities in your calendar. Guard these time blocks as zealously as you would important meetings. Create morning and evening routines that incorporate wealth-building practices. When specific times are dedicated to financial growth, it becomes a natural part of your daily rhythm rather than an afterthought. Perhaps most importantly, engineer your mental environment to support wealth momentum. Develop mantras and self-talk patterns that reinforce your identity as a wealth builder. Create visualization practices that make financial success feel inevitable. Write out your wealth affirmations and post them where you'll see them regularly. When your internal environment aligns with your wealth goals, external actions naturally follow. The ultimate goal is to reach a state where building wealth feels as natural as breathing. By thoughtfully engineering every aspect of your environment, digital, physical, social, informational, behavioral, temporal, and mental, you create an ecosystem where financial growth happens automatically. Your wealth momentum becomes self-sustaining because you've built a world where prosperity is the default outcome rather than the exception. Lesson 10. Riding the wave to your rich life. Once you've built significant wealth momentum, there comes an exhilarating phase where your financial growth begins to feel effortless, like surfing a perfect wave. This sensation isn't just psychological, it's the natural result of all the systems, habits, and momentum you've carefully constructed. Your wealth now moves with a force of its own, carrying you toward your dreams with increasing velocity. Think of the most successful investors and business builders you admire. They've reached a state where wealth creation appears almost automatic. Their investments compound while they sleep, their businesses generate profit without their constant intervention, and new opportunities seem to materialize regularly. This isn't luck or magic, it's the culmination of wealth momentum operating at its peak. The key to riding this wave successfully is maintaining the delicate balance between control and flow. Just as a skilled surfer knows when to lean in and when to stay centered, you must develop an intuitive sense of when to take action and when to let your momentum carry you forward. This might mean knowing exactly when to reinvest profits, when to diversify into new opportunities, or when to hold steady during market turbulence. Your rich life extends far beyond mere numbers in a bank account. As your wealth momentum reaches this advanced stage, you'll find yourself naturally expanding into new territories of abundance. You might start investing in others' dreams, creating foundations, or building legacies that will outlast you. The wave you're riding becomes large enough to lift others with you, creating a multiplier effect that enriches entire communities. The true mastery of wealth momentum reveals itself in how seamlessly money flows through your life. You'll notice that financial decisions become increasingly intuitive, guided by the wisdom you've accumulated through your journey. The anxiety that once accompanied money matters dissolves, replaced by a calm confidence in your ability to generate and maintain wealth. At this stage, your relationship with money transforms completely. Rather than chasing wealth, you become a natural attractor of opportunities. Your robust momentum creates a magnetic effect, drawing in like-minded people, profitable ventures, and unexpected possibilities. This is when wealth building truly becomes a joyful expression of your highest potential rather than a stressful pursuit. Yet even as you ride this wave of abundance, remember that momentum requires ongoing attention. The biggest waves demand the most skill to navigate. Continue refining your financial intelligence, staying informed about market trends, and adapting your strategies as circumstances evolve. Your wealth momentum should feel powerful but never out of control. The ultimate achievement is when your financial success becomes a platform for living your most authentic life. Your wealth momentum should support your deepest values and aspirations, allowing you to make choices based on purpose rather than necessity. Whether that means traveling the world, supporting causes you believe in, or creating opportunities for others, your rich life becomes a natural expression of who you are. This concluding chapter marks not an endpoint but a transition into a new phase of your wealth journey. The momentum you've built will continue to carry you forward, opening doors to possibilities you might not yet imagine. The wave you're riding has the potential to grow ever larger, creating impact and abundance that extends far beyond your initial vision. Stay present, stay grateful, and, most importantly, stay true to the principles that brought you to this point of financial mastery. Every financial empire, every legacy of wealth started with someone deciding to build momentum. You've now learned the principles, practiced the habits, and created the systems needed for sustained financial success. The wave is yours to ride, and the horizon of possibility stretches endlessly before you.